Okay, here we go. The topic for today is the existential crisis and a method of liberation. I hope that you can hear me because this is an experiment and I am learning as I do this. If you're not doing what you want to do and you're listening to everybody else telling you who you are and what you're doing, then you're definitely out of sync with reality, literally, because reality is you. You understand? Rubber band? I wonder how my audio is doing with the wind blowing in through my helmet. You know, there's not much wind right now, but as I get faster, there's going to be wind. And I can even feel it blowing past my helmet. The topic, existentialism and liberation, is heavy duty because that's one of the factors that led to the big revolutions of the 60s and 70s. People began to say, wait a second, you guys have crossed the line. Everything is going to church, obeying the corporation, obeying the government, listening to your parents and doing what they say. Well, what if your parents are crazy? What if your corporation is way out of line? What if your government has become totally out of line and your church doesn't have answers? Then you are in trouble if you do not break away and find your own way. Existentialism is about breaking away and finding your own truth, your own valid view. Matter of fact, William Burroughs said it best: if you just stop and let your mind come up with the answer, it'll do so. Now, he didn't say those exact words. I'm vulgarizing. Still, that's a big deal. I'm here on the Lease Way, taking a shortcut. This place is treacherous for cars just stopping. Temperature, it's about 60. I am wearing a jacket and gloves, but I am wearing shorts too. I don't know which way this guy's going. Now, this is a different air. I've closed the latch and I'm listening. I mean, I'm not hearing the wind as much, but maybe the sound is sounding muffled. So I'm curious about how I sound right now as I proceed on shoreline, checking out the surf, which is not happening. I was out, by the way, I was out earlier today at the Biltmore Beach. I paddled to Miramar. It was overcast and choppy and high tide, with big high tide waves bashing against the seawall and rocks. And it was good practice for me to get into that crap. It's not easy. I almost got thrown off once, but I righted myself. And I'm approaching Ledbetter's. Existentialism is one of the factors leading to the revolutions of the beatniks, the hippies, the anti-war people, all the civil rights actions that took place. Of course, it also can lead to extremism. Just about everything does. I mean, there was a lot of extremism and what they called back then radicals, student radicals. There were terrorists, left-wing terrorist groups that were plaguing Western democracies. So when you totally destroy all the institutions, you can sometimes leave a certain extremist group as a remainder. There's always going to be people, or I shouldn't say always, but there's going to be people who are born to be extremists. In the future, I mean, there's going to be a time in the future when extremism is passé. But right now, if you take away all the institutions, I'm checking the surf, if you take away all the institutions and say these are all corrupt, either corrupt or not applicable, or no longer valid, or of a secondary, tertiary importance, you could sometimes let people make up their own mind and they could be free to decide to be extremists. City College in gear. City College is going. The wind has made it a little more choppy. Oh, I'm getting wild. I get on this thing and I get a little wild sometimes. It's kind of like so fast. And I can get off I can start from scratch. Was I going too fast? I don't know. Maybe that guy was just going too slow. But for the vast majority, existentialism allowed liberation. Because they suddenly no longer had to listen to their parents, had to listen to the corporation. They could boogie out. They could hitchhike on the road. They were, I mean, On the Road is an existentialist book. It's about freedom and escaping the crap, the life that he was living, and getting on the road and meeting new people. And liberating himself from a location that was frankly stifling for him, though he didn't know it when he did it. Sometimes liberating yourself is done subconsciously. You're telling yourself something, but you're not really giving it much credence. But it happens, and then you finally realize, oh, I've been asking for this the whole time. Oh. Who's going slow? So my microphone is held here pretty nicely. I want to photograph that building, the old Rocky Galentis. My destination is Coffee Cat. Ain't no doubt about it. You know, I was just having a conversation with Alex about the length of lights and Santa Barbara's are relatively short, sometimes too short. It's cool, but not cold. I did think about putting on long pants. If you're not paying attention to your own gut senses, you're in exile. I think it's Camus that wrote Exile in the Kingdom. And when you're in tune with yourself, meaning you listen to yourself, you follow your ideas and concepts and yearnings rather than corporations or religions or your parents, because you want to please them, then you're in the kingdom. You don't want to be in exile from yourself. The authentic self is a self who listens to their own inner guidance and values that and understands how to use it rather than relies on television, Fox News, or CNN for that matter, or a corporation or their religion to gain insight into themselves and to guide them in life. Now, it's true that those do help. Good books do provide insight and guidance, but you have to compare it to your own inner workings, and you can't censor yourself. That's existentialism, and that's liberation. When we're a child, of course, we don't know. We're still learning, and we basically listen to our parents, and we believe them when they tell us, Nazis are good. What? Yeah, Nazis. Okay. I'm a Nazi. And then later, we find out that Nazis are bad. What the? Well, my parents told me, and they gave me all this evidence. They took me to, places where the Nazis were loved. And so I thought everyone was thinking the Nazis were cool. Making the left-hand turn onto Anna Pramu. It's now 2:20 in the afternoon. I'm sleepy, and I'm gonna get me some coffee. I'm curious what this sounds like. I'm curious what this film's like. Waddle.